In the shadows of time and the silence of the divine, a forbidden name lingers, a being who rose beyond the angels to sit beside the throne of God. They say he was human. They say he knows everything. He is Metatron. Enoch first appears in Genesis, briefly mentioned as a man who walked with God and then was no more, for God took him. However, it is in the book of Enoch where his story is richly expanded. There he is portrayed as a prophet chosen to denounce the corruption of the Watchers, fallen angels who revealed forbidden secrets to humanity. God sent him to proclaim justice, warning against the ungodly practices of those beings who descended to earth and corrupted mortals. Enoch first appears in Genesis, briefly mentioned as a man who walked with God and then was no more, for God took him. However, it is in the book of Enoch where his story is richly expanded. There he is portrayed as a prophet chosen to denounce the corruption of the Watchers, fallen angels who revealed forbidden secrets to humanity. God sent him to proclaim justice, warning against the ungodly practices of those beings who descended to earth and corrupted mortals. Enoch first appears in Genesis, briefly mentioned as a man who walked with God and then was no more, for God took him. However, it is in the book of Enoch where his story is richly expanded. There he is portrayed as a prophet chosen to denounce the corruption of the Watchers, fallen angels who revealed forbidden secrets to humanity. God sent him to proclaim justice, warning against the ungodly practices of those beings who descended to earth and corrupted mortals. Throughout his account, Enoch witnesses astonishing and terrifying scenes. He sees the fallen angels bound in deep caverns, observes monstrous beasts, and beholds the very glory of the Almighty. His mission is not only to warn humanity, but also to record everything occurring in the heavens. As prophet and scribe, he documents visions of the stars, celestial creatures, and divine punishments. Finally, after traversing the seven heavens, his role transcends that of a mere mortal. He emerges as the ultimate intermediary between the human and the divine. In the second book of Enoch, also known as Slavonic Enoch, we learn of Enoch's dramatic transformation into Metatron. In this account, God bestows upon him immense wings, a radiant robe, and boundless wisdom, granting him 365,000 eyes so he can survey every corner of creation. Seated on a throne beside the Almighty, he becomes God's principal scribe and witness, responsible for recording every divine decree. In assuming this exalted role, Metatron draws so close to the divine that some rabbinic writings describe him as slightly less than God, a claim that stirred considerable debate among ancient scholars. How could a being born of flesh approach deific status? Yet despite the controversy, Metatron's function as a cosmic mediator, maintaining the balance between heaven and earth, was indelibly written into esoteric tradition. Thus, the man Enoch transcends his human origins to become the ultimate angelic scribe, the eternal guardian of celestial secrets. After his exaltation, Metatron assumes various functions that make him a fundamental pillar of esoteric cosmology. Guardian of the Tree of Life. One of his best-known tasks is to guard the Tree of Life within paradise, preventing mortals from touching it without proper spiritual preparation. There he acts as the guardian of harmony between the heavenly realms and the lower worlds, ensuring that no one crosses the threshold into the divine domains without permission. Ruler of arcane wisdom, thanks to the 365,000 eyes that allow him to encompass all of reality, Metatron safeguards the secrets of the universe, sacred names, Kabbalistic formulas, and pathways connecting every sphere of being. It is said that he teaches souls who reach a certain level of purity. He guides the righteous to understand the music of the spheres and the coded language of the angels. Scribe of the Final Judgment. In his role as celestial chronicler, Metatron records not only divine decrees, but also the spiritual biography of every human being. His annals contain the tally of each soul's good deeds and sins, which later serve as the basis for the final judgment at the end of time. Intercessor between God and humanity. Seated on a throne beside the Most High, Metatron serves as mediator when fallen angels or wandering souls seek redemption. He is attributed the ability to present human prayers before the throne and to transmit divine mercy to those who perform genuine acts of repentance. Over the centuries, Metatron's figure transcends the second book of Enoch and gains growing relevance in Jewish mysticism, especially in Kabbalah. There he is identified as the angel who personifies the supreme light and coordinates the flow of energy that descends from the Ein Sof, the infinite name of God, to the creative worlds. In many Kabbalistic texts, it is stated that Metatron is the bridge that unites the manifested with the unmanifested. Through him flows the Shefa, the divine abundance that nourishes the 10 Sephirot, and by extension, sustains the very fabric of existence. The book of the scribe Metatron is mentioned as a work containing the most secret names of God. Whoever holds it in their heart can rise above fallen angels and attain states of consciousness close to unity. Throughout the Middle Ages, some Jewish mystics claim to have experienced visions in which Metatron appears as a gigantic being of light surrounded by a retinue of archangels, transmitting decrees and spiritual healing formulas. He is even associated with healing and guiding souls, a role later adopted by certain Christian and Gnostic esoteric currents, reinterpreting him as the angel of the presence, who accompanies initiates in their mystical ascents. Finally, Enoch's journey culminates in a lesson that transcends time and cultures. That man who walked with God and was raptured no longer remains merely an earthly prophet, but becomes the eternal transmitter of divine design. As Metatron, he transcends the boundaries of humanity, reminding us that communion with the sacred can elevate anyone beyond their own limits. Thus, his figure endures as the emblem of the gateway between the visible and the invisible world, the definitive link that connects man to the infinite. And that's it for today's video. What did you think? If you'd like to see an epic angel versus demon battle, let me know in the comments. If we hit 5 likes, I'll upload that long-awaited celestial showdown. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next mystery between light and darkness. See you in the next video.